what were you doing to make money before that? Were you like?
Oh my gosh, you're gonna expose me.
Am I? Okay. But you don't have to say.
I was an English teacher.
Oh, okay. Nice. I mean, that's it's very
sense.
normal.
Yeah,
It's fine.
Yeah. I mean,
Couldn't be
was,
worse than Chris,
Yeah.
So.
Oh, what did Chris do?
I'm kidding. What didn't Chris do?
It was a tough schedule at that time, because you would be working.
Yeah, no, this sounds now this sounds like a lot harder because now you're like
a lot harder.
you're doing a full shift and then you're like, oh, I got to get here on the weekends to do this
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I think the toughest time was when I would be waking up at like 4 or 5 in the morning to go 2 hours to a school that's like in the inaka. So it's like you can't even sit down because you have to take a train, 2 buses, and like
Oh my God.
forever.
Wow.
And then stay the whole day, work the whole day, and then I would bring all the makeup and stuff because as a doksha model, you're not just like, there are chances where they like do your hair and makeup and you model the clothing the stylist picked out for you, but then there's also the ones where you have to come up with everything and bring your own stuff.
Right.
So for that, I would be doing my makeup on the train, which I know is not the best.
All right.
But sometimes there's like shows or tea parties. So I would be like running from around, I would finish my shift around 6 and then be running and trying to take off my suit. I used to hide my bangs because I have a streak here and I used to have a gradation here.
Right?
So
You have to hide that for the school.
like,
Oh my gosh.
I wore glasses and I put my hair up and I put my hair in a bun.
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of transforming,
Oh my
but
God,
You're Clark Kent.
Parker.
Clark Kent, yeah.
Clark Kent.
This sounds like the transformation of every like 90s like girl movie where
was it?
when they had like
Rip the suit off and
Yeah, they
underneath
have
is
the
a
glasses.
good golf ball.
It's not that fun though. It's not as exciting as it is.
Yeah, I
It's
mean, doing
very
a 2-hour
stressful.
doing a 2-hour commute with multiple changes actually
And
doesn't
with,
sound
like,
that cool.
huge amounts of like
Nimotsu, yeah, like
Yeah.
luggage.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
luggage. I feel like I'm like mixing up my
No,
language
no.
now.
Joey also is perfectly fluent in both.
Yeah. But it's funny sometimes because I would be teaching my students. At that time, it was like I was teaching middle school, and so the kids would actually bring Kera to the school and be like, "Sensei, niteru," and I'm like,
I was like, that's definitely not me.
Yeah, I was like,
Who's that?
I don't recognize her.
She's not wearing glasses. Who's that?
And I'd be like, kawaii ne.
That's so funny.
Yeah, but
So how long were you doing that for then? Like how long were you like
3
back
years.
wait, as an English teacher and
Yeah.
doing back and forth?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Damn.
it was hard.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
imagine.
Yeah.
Was there like a breakthrough moment that you think you had, or was it like just kind of
Yeah.
gradual?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of tough because I think this might get a little serious, so you could cut if you want.
No.
But we get
But,
serious all the time.
Yeah, we get
Yeah.
serious.
Yeah.
Like, it was such a tough schedule and keeping up with everything that I ended up getting really sick after 3 years.
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the time, I was sort of being bullied at the school too by the teachers. And so that was really, really, really tough. And when I finally got to go home for Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
Thanksgiving Day, I landed in the hospital.
Oh no.
Oh no.
But after that, quit everything.
Good.
started.
Yes.
So that
that's what we
was
want.
kind
That
of
wasn't a
the
wake-up call.
turning. Yeah, that was the wake-up call because, once you do one thing continuously, it's hard to think about doing other things.
Yeah.
So I did realize, I mean, this wasn't like my goal it was an in-between, and I learned a lot. I really loved my time teaching.
Yeah.
And it was like, I learned a lot of skills too, like projecting and putting together lesson plans and making things interactive enough for people to understand. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
How did you go transitioning from like that moment to doing this full time then? Did you have like a...
So you quit. So you got sick. You came back and you're like, "Fuck this! This is killing me.
I'm going full fashion.
I'm going to quit my job." And then you decided to commit to fashion fully, or modeling. I guess?
Yeah, sort of. Like the modeling stuff never stopped, so that was fine. I was in a like a doing nothing time for a while, and I got an opportunity from YouTube Space Tokyo, and it was just through a contact through fashion, and they were like, "Oh, hey, I'm working for YouTube Space Tokyo. Like, we're starting this boot camp. YouTube is really new to Japan, and we want to train the first few YouTubers in Japan."
Oh yeah.
And so there was like we get a
I remember
stipend.
they did this, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were doing YouTube in English about Japan, like back when, like 10 years ago, or like a long time.
Yeah, a long
So
time
you've been
ago.
a very OG. Yeah.
Sort of OG, but didn't really do much with it.
Well, hey, you were there, bro.
Hey, at least you were there.
OG.
You're in the
so,
scene, man.
so that's why YouTube brought you in, because you were doing YouTube and you were kind of having some success with that.
Sort of. I didn't do too much of YouTube, but it was just, I think they were opening a boot camp for fashion and beauty gurus. They had different guru camps. So there was animation guru, and there was like game.
Like Let's Plays and stuff.
All this.
yeah.
I don't think Let's Plays came out just yet, but it was like they call it maruchi.
Yeah,
And
like
it's like
multi-talents,
like you play with toys or unboxings and things like that.
Counters,
Yeah, because I guess this is during a time where like there weren't really like the established genres of YouTube creation
Yeah,
in
it was-
Japan. Like
it
there
wasn't
was
in-
like
around what year was this? Do you know?
early 2010s, I'd say. No, maybe even later than that.
After that.
Yeah, it's like 20
13, 14.
Yeah, it was around when I
Okay.
started, I remember. Because
Yeah.
like in Japan, like when I first started doing YouTube and I told my Japanese cousins about it, they had no fucking idea what YouTube was.
Oh, wow.
Right, like
Yeah.
it's not a thing in Japan.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'd say it wasn't until maybe like 2015, 2016
Mm-hmm.
where YouTube, or where young people started to finally acknowledge
It's
YouTube.
almost impressive how much they've adopted it since. Because
Yeah.
YouTube
Yeah.
is everywhere
Yeah.
in Japan now.
But before that, it was still like Nico Nico Doga and like all these
Yeah.
other streaming sites.
Yeah.
So
Exactly,
Sorry
yeah.
to interrupt your experience.
Yeah.
Carry
No,
on,
no,
carry on
no,
about the
no,
YouTube
no.
experience. Yeah.
It was Nico Nico Doga and Ameburo.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
like the two
Okay.
biggest things that you were supposed to be doing, and Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah,
Twitter.
yeah.
Oh.
So I mean, Twitter's still biggest here in Japan. So doing boot camp, they gave us a stipend to start off with our first camera and lighting. So it was a whole month, and we would come in like school. And basically, one day was dedicated to setting up your camera. One day was dedicated to setting up lighting. One was fashion, so they brought a stylist in and like
wow.
all that stuff. And one was beauty. They did like basic makeup tutorial, and basically they trained us how to shoot ourselves, because it is a self
Yeah.
situation.
Self-production,
Yeah.
Yeah. Self-production.
And our homework was to produce 3 videos that were collaborative within the students. There were like a total of 7 people. And we just did that. And then right after we graduated, there's the agency was right down the hall. So we just kind of go shoop, and we just went into
Right. And just like let us in, please.
Yeah.
Being one of the biggest Japanese MCN.
MCNs,
Yes.
And kind of agency too, right?
Yes,
they kind of.
they're an agency and an MC.
I know they take a hefty cut there. I've heard.
Well, that's just
That's
Japanese
all
agencies. That's just
Japanese
Japanese
agencies.
agencies in
It
general.
was
right?
actually more lenient than
Oh, really?
my previous agencies. So I actually really enjoyed my time in
Okay,
Boom.
can I ask then? You don't have to name it. What is the worst split you've ever had then? Like, what's the worst number?
in terms of like
are they, what they,
agencies.
well, how much they take?
50-50. And I bring in the jobs.
What does he do? What is the agent doing then?
wait,
Wait.
Okay,
50-50
okay,
and you do
they-
the agent's
they
job?
offer-
That's the best
okay,
scam
okay.
ever.
They offer
Exposure.
they offer protection. I think that's like
What,
the
the
biggest
mob?
thing.
You joined the mob, Renren. You joined the Yakuza.
They come to you and they're like,
Oh my god! I
you
didn't.
need
I
protection.
didn't realize. No,
It's like,
no,
yeah,
you're
don't,
right.
it's like,
Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
don't tell anyone, but our company's run by Yakuza.
That's literally what the mob did back in the day.
That's
They're
the
like,
mob, Brendan.
They go down to door to door
It's
and
like,
they're
hey,
like,
Toots, give us half your money and we'll
Sorry,
pop
okay.
someone if
Yeah,
we
so
need
let's
to.
say other than protection, right? What do they do?
Oh my god, I'm crying. No, you're right. You're so right. Oh my god.
Yes, Brendan. If I do, let's like be segregated, right? Let's do a YouTube channel where you do all the work and I get 50% of the money. What a crazy, like,
Yeah.
who would agree to that?
I mean, Apparently I did.
Well, no, I think a lot of these MCNs, all these agencies, they have this really good.
It's a full representation though.
In what sense?
Everything.
As in, like,
So-
if the
okay.
agency will go out of their way if they want to promote themselves, they'll also promote the creators that are under them, right? And I guess that's like extra exposure, maybe? I don't know.
Well, that's what
Yes.
they sell to you, but did that ever actually happen?
I think it's important to laugh about this kind of stuff
Yeah,
because
yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of the times,
It's experience.
Yeah.
yeah, and also
Yeah.
to inform people.
But
Like a lot of these
also-
agents don't do a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, but they do a lot if you get in trouble. I think that's like
Well, how often are you getting in trouble? Adrian? What are you causing? Okay, go. Sorry.
I'm gonna just fuck up real quick to get
No,
them to
like,
do their job.
if you like say something, so the contracts, especially with the 50-50 one, the contracts are kind of serious in the sense that you can't have a boyfriend, or you can't
What?
write certain things on Twitter. Like you can't write politics, religion, any strong feeling or anything against clients that are potential clients.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Potential client.
Yeah, you can.
You
You
know
can't
that's
say
everyone in the
anything
world,
negative.
right?
Yeah, you can't say anything negative. If you have something negative that you're thinking, then you just don't write it. That's it. But
It's kind of wild.
I mean, you know, that's like a good philosophy to have just as an online.
I think so, but
personality.
I-
the
Yeah, yeah.
fact that it was written in the contract is crazy.
Yeah, it's in
And
the
like the no
contract.
boyfriend or partner thing as
yeah,
well.
what?
Yeah,
what
that's
Yeah.
like an idol
was this for
agency
just
kind of
YouTube,
way.
Yeah.
or what was this for?
No, this was not YouTube.
This is just for
Sorry,
like.
please,
This is,
Yeah.
sorry,
no,
this is just
I
for-
was part of modeling agencies before too.
So modeling agencies like no boyfriends.
It depends on the agency.
Oh my god.
Certain agencies like, yeah, and certain ones don't. So
But that sounds almost like
the one,
idols in a
the
sense.
Yeah.
one that
Yeah.
had that written clause though, they were lenient still. So when I like said, hey, like I'm seeing somebody, they were like, okay, you got to bring that person in. So we had like a mensitsu.
Wait, so they're like,
Mensitsu?
what? They're like a dad being like, if I do not approve of
Oh,
your boyfriend.
No, not approved, but like they have to go over expectations. So you can't post photos together.
Yeah.
You can't hold hands when you're walking around in public. If you're like dating and going out to eat, then you can't just be the two of you. You have to bring a third person or a fourth person in. Like you can't give off the hint that you're in a relationship.
So they basically have full control of your personal life, like
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah.
But you can't. Well, they're like you can date unless we're involved.
Yeah.
Unless
They
you're
want 50-50 of that.
careful.
Okay.
And that your partner understands the
But you know, you
what
can't go out for
what
dinner.
the situation is.
You can't go out for dinner alone. That's kind of sad.
It's also wild to think that this contract was like, yeah, we're gonna control pretty much most of your personal life and take half your money
and do nothing.
and do nothing.
Okay, so you don't.
This is a lot to take in right now.
You don't have
I'm
to.
sorry.
No, this is
you,
fantastic.
you are right.
This
though.
is like
I've
we're
never-
learning a lot. Yeah,
I've
it's
never
It's a
thought
question.
about
question.
it.
I have a bit of a question, right? Because
Okay.
you're saying in case you get in trouble, what can you give me any examples of what types of troubles you might like they could help with? Just so I know. Like, sorry, like.
Legal troubles.
Okay. Ruben, how on earth are you getting in legal trouble? What are you doing? Okay, you didn't.
I didn't get into
Who
legal
is
trouble.
getting into legal trouble in this agency? What's
the
going
heck?
on behind the scenes?
Wait,
But
okay,
you know,
so-
that's one of the services that agencies offer is their legal department.
Okay, you also.
No, I get that, but at
Yeah.
the same time, how many models are going to come back to the agencies or their managers and be like, so the last weekend I accidentally slipped and landed on a line of cocaine. I've kind of broken the law. Can you help me with that? Like, they're not breaking the law that often, right?
Oh yeah. It's not a common occurrence.
Right.
Actually, I did see it more often in the YouTube agency.
what the requirement for?
No. The
breaking the law.
requirements are fine. No. The requirements are actually the most lenient
On
for
YouTube? Yeah, I
yeah,
hope
because
so,
we're
yeah.
like creators. So, but the legal department does get involved when there's like apologies happening.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's or like if someone found your place.
Oh, like doxing and
Okay.
stuff, right?
Yeah, doxing and things like that, like those sort of situations, then
I see.
a lot of the agency actually takes on a lot of that burden.
Which sucks because it actually happens quite
It
frequently
does.
in the
It
Japanese
does.
scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's a sense of protection for me too. Like it's
Right, to have
it's
someone in your corner.
It's very, very important.
Is that worth 50%.
But 50% though?
I mean,
pretty wild.
I'm here now. I'm on Trash Taste.
That 50% of muscles worth this.
I admire your unrelenting optimism in the face of stuff that I would be pissed off about.
Yeah. I mean, whenever I tell you something, you're always pissed off
I
for
get
me.
so pissed off.
So
for
I'm
you.
just like, oh.
He's just British.
yeah.
That's all it is.
Okay,
But
okay.
I'm
rightly so. As
Yeah.
well.
I think that, like, you know,
But also, Maylene gets pissed off for me too.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, we're in an industry where, if given the chance, most people who you work with will, you know, they maybe cut the cake a little too big sometimes for themselves. I think that, like,
I mean, that's just every industry and every.
but especially so with entertainment
especially
and
in
talent and
entertainment,
whatever, like,
yeah.
because you are the talent. You are often in the much weaker position.
Yeah.
Because often you need them or whatever it is. And so I think that it's an important skill we have to learn to fight for yourself and look for what that is and know when to fight
know
for
your
yourself.
worth.
Yeah, know your
Especially
worth.
when it's like new people getting into the industry as well.
Yeah.
When the industry was like very, very young when you got into it. Because I remember the first MCN I got signed with, I did not know that YouTube had like a partner program at the time. So this
Yeah.
MCN came to me and they were like, we'll offer you like a 50-50 split. And I'm like,
So
Oh,
you
like,
did it too.
I did it as well.
You did it.
I did it as well.
See?
I didn't do it.
And I was just like, wait, I get paid? Yo, I'm getting paid just to do like videos?
Yeah.
I think my first one was a 75-25, which at the time I was like, I'm about to get that bag, dog. And then
You got 75 or you got 25?
I got 75.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I would not. if the agency was taking 75%, I would not have signed up on that.
They do that for
Yeah,
a lot
I
of
know in
T-
Japan, they do
Yeah, they
that.
love the
Yeah.
big
Okay.
splits in Japan.
Yeah.
They
But
love.
that's nice.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now I know that there's a lot better.
Yeah, but I also
There's a
got-
lot better than that.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't know that.
Yeah, okay, so in America, right,
Yeah.
for like a YouTuber or something,
Uh-huh.
the average now is like 5 to 15% the agency takes.
That's so little.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
85 to 95.
And legal department comes with it?
Sometimes.
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 Yeah.
Sometimes,
All
yeah.
right.
Well, the expectation is, hey, we're not
don't
gonna
fuck up.
we're not gonna have. There might be some clause written in where they can like terminate an agreement if you break rules.
Oh,
AKA,
yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Can we get the coffees?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the coffee.
Thank you, Geeks Plus,
yeah.
for being an awesome agency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't had too many legal problems. I've had the occasional
Or
one.
the-
Are you gonna like test your
Test the limit.
Yeah.
That's the limit.
I've definitely given geeks a few heart attacks.
Look,
here
the
and there.
worst we get is Maylin just sweating a lot.
Being paranoid.
and just having some stern talks from Maylin.
Maylene's so good.
She is
Yeah.
so good.
It is good.
If
She's so
if Maylin's
good.
pissed off, I feel like a child that's like misbehaved.